It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Laura Johnson. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $144 million. So get those tickets out. Let's play. That first number up is 2. Followed by the number 28. Tonight we're going to meet the Powerball 14, who won $50,000 playing Powerball. Now for the rest of those numbers, we've got 9, 36, rounding it out, with 53. Your Powerball number tonight, good luck everyone, is 4, and your Power Play multiplier is 2. Let's take a look at those numbers one last time, and we will see you back here Saturday night. Good night, everyone.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
New details tonight of the deadly crash involving UGA football players and staff. Reports of reckless driving and an arrest warrant for an NFL hopeful.
And Richmond County Sheriff speaks out about deputies accused of assaulting an inmate.
The use of excessive force is never warranted and will not be tolerated.
Video shows from the incident coming up. But first, a veteran is determined to work out all day and all night. In fact, his goal is 22 hours total.
His name is Adam Cooper, and he says it's to honor the 22 veterans who die by suicide every day. Taylor Martin joins us now live from Macon with why this cause is so important to him.
Well, I'm here with Adam Cooper now, and we're going on about hour 7 of being here on the trip, the Stairmaster, right? And I talked with him a little bit earlier about why this cause is so important to him.
22 hours for the 22 veterans whose lives are lost every day to suicide. Adam Cooper says his goal may seem extreme to some, but that's the point.
I believe we have to do radical things to get some radical changes. And I believe that me climbing stairs for 22 hours is something that can get people's attention and to realize that there is a problem within the veteran community.
Adam is partnering with 56 Brave Patriot Apparel, Pick Up the 6 podcast, and Max Fitness to complete his workout and mission. Dwight Bradham with the Aiken Association of Veterans Affairs says this cause is extremely important, especially for veterans who are struggling but don't ask for help.
We don't really deal with it until it gets to a point stress levels or something triggers it.
According to the Aiken Barnwell Mental Health Center, 1 in 5 people experience a mental health disorder in their lifetime. It's why Adam says he's not only doing this for veterans, but to raise awareness for everyone who struggles with mental health and ultimately suicide.
It's sad to see somebody commit suicide even if I don't know them. I could only imagine what it does to who they left behind.
Now, Adam is going to be here at Max Fitness in Aiken until 2 o'clock tomorrow to reach his 22-hour goal. And if you want to join him, you can. He says that he'll be here and ready to work out with you. Reporting in Aiken, Taylor Martin, on your side.
We'll see how long she can hang with
Yeah,
him
Taylor,
tonight. That's the question.
We got to get her a change of clothes in there. That's going to be a long night.
Yeah, we'll check in a couple hours, Taylor. You hang in there, right?
Oh, man. Taking a look at weather, we have First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley
In that full forecast.
Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree shedding some light on an investigation into 2 deputies accused of beating a man inside the Webster Detention Center last Thursday. During a news conference today, he played surveillance video of that assault. Video shows the deputies carrying the inmate through a day area before setting him down against the wall and punching him. Then you can see them actually pick him back up and drag him through a doorway back behind those stairs. The deputies are identified as 28-year-old Gerardo Sanchez and 21-year-old Joshua Jackson. Both were fired after that internal investigation. The sheriff's office says they were also charged with simple battery in violation of oath of office.
As the leader of this agency, this responsibility falls on me. I have directed the senior leadership of this agency to identify any gaps in training or culture that may have contributed to this many incidents.
Sheriff Roundtree called the situation a wake-up call for his agency. In the past year, 12 Richmond County deputies have been arrested, including 5 for excessive force.
The sheriff's office says they're trying to figure out the gaps in training and culture that may lead to these types of behaviors. A big update to pass along. The bill named after the 4-year-old boy who drowned during a private swim lesson in Burke County passed the state Senate today. It passed with overwhelming support, with only 1 senator voting no. It also received a standing ovation. Izzy's law would establish requirements for swim instructors in Georgia. It would include an instructor-to-student ratio, supervision at all times, and for parents to be allowed to sit in on private swim lessons. Now it heads to the House for a vote. We're continuing to follow the story of a UGA football player wanted in connection to the deadly crash that killed his teammate and a recruiting staffer in January. Athens Clarke County Police say former defensive lineman Jalen Carter is accused of reckless driving and racing. In a statement, Carter said he planned to turn himself in. Head coach Kirby Smart also put out a statement saying the charges announced are deeply concerning, especially as we are still struggling to cope with the devastating loss of 2 beloved members of our community. We will continue to cooperate fully with the authorities.
3 years in a row, that man showed up, working day in and day out, and he a 2-time natty champ, man. You know, and it's written in stone. So that's all I'm gonna say. And
Player Devin Willick and recruiting staffer Chandler LaCroix were killed in the January 15th crash shortly after the team won their 2nd national championship in 2 years. The toxicology report from the GBI found the driver, LaCroix's blood alcohol content was .197. Investigators say there were also signs LaCroix and Carter were racing. The prosecution wrapped up their closing arguments today in the Alec Murdaugh murder trial in South Carolina. Prosecutors tried to paint the picture of a desperate man faced with the possibility of a decades-long scheme of financial crimes coming unraveled.
That is the motive the state says Murdaugh had when he allegedly killed his wife and son back in 2021. Nick Neville is in Colleton County with a breakdown of today's arguments.
There is only one person who had the motive, who had the means, who had the opportunity to commit these crimes, and also whose guilty conduct after these crimes betrays him. The defendant was the one person who was living a lie. The defendant is the person on which a storm was descending, and the defendant is a person where his own storm would actually mean consequences for Maggie and Paul.
Lead prosecutor Creighton Waters in closing arguments keying in on motive, something the state did not do in opening statements because it was not clear how much of Murdaugh's alleged financial crimes Judge Clifton Newman would allow in. Murdaugh's scheme, Waters argued, worked for a time, as the hearing on the boat crash lawsuit was canceled and the murders turned Murdaugh into a sympathetic figure. The state does not have any direct evidence tying Murdaugh to the crime, nor do they have the murder weapons, but they do have a video placing Murdaugh at the kennels just minutes before the state alleges that the killings happened. Murdaugh admitted to lying about this, but blamed it on his opioid addiction and a distrust of SLED. Waters arguing before the jury that Murdaugh fits the description of a family annihilator.
And it's certainly easy to understand when you have a middle-aged man who's outwardly successful, who has a strong family legacy, who has a prominence in the community and a reputation, but is living a lie. Is living a lie. And that leads to, and can lead to, those pressures being overwhelming and actions like this happening. Husbands have been killing wives, unfortunately, for years, and husbands killing sons goes back as far as King Aaron, Charlie Furman.
Meanwhile, the defense argues SLED missed evidence and singled Murdaugh out from the start.
Lawyers for Murdaugh had experts on the stand who raised the possibility of 2 shooters being at the scene that night instead of 1. Meanwhile, investigators in Ohio say the wife and mother is thought to be the shooter in that murder-suicide outside Cincinnati Monday. It's a story we told you about right here last night. That family has ties to Augusta. A lot of friends are here who know about them. The Claremont County Sheriff's Office says evidence and autopsy findings suggest 46-year-old Teresa Kane shot 4 family members inside their home. Victims' ages range from 13 to 74 years old.
New at 11, China is disputing.
Well, rain chances are back into the forecast tomorrow, and then we're talking about the potential for severe weather by Friday. Have a look at that first alert forecast just after the break.
And the best in the world of pro fishing on the local water this week. And who better than Riley Hale to give us an update from Clarks Hill Lake when News 12 at 11 continues.
Our first alert has always given you the edge against severe weather. And now, with our new First Alert radar network, First just got even faster. This is the most advanced weather radar around, filling in the gaps that have plagued our area for years. With up to 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street. No other station can provide you with this type of enhanced weather coverage. You'll only find it here, putting your family safety first with the First Alert radar network. First just got faster.
Yeah, you heard that right. The Cash Pot. It's the light of the party.
Day 2 of the Major League Fishing Invitational at Clarks Hill Lake wrapped up today.
150 anglers are competing in this tournament for the top prize of $80,000. And of course, we asked Riley Hale to take us to the lake.
13, good job. 29-13, the top 25 right now, Mike.
Cut day for the MLF Invitational at Clarks Hill. All 150 anglers fish the first 2 days, but only the top 50 get to fish the final day, Thursday. The top angler in the field continues to be Dakota Ebert. He had the lead after day 1 with more than 23 pounds and brought in another big bag today, bringing his 2-day total to 42 pounds and 3 ounces. He also caught the biggest fish of the day at 8 pounds and 4 ounces. Fans from around the area came to weigh in today at Wildwood Park, meeting their favorite anglers and cheering them on. The Greenbrier fishing team is helping with the weigh-in process this week, giving them exposure to professional tournaments and meeting some of their favorite anglers.
It's been awesome seeing all my idols out here, like Brian Latimer and Jacob Wheeler. It's been awesome. I got to get my hat signed by them, and it's been awesome. Hey, good catch.
Not only do the young anglers get to see their idols, it also gives them something to look forward to.
We've met some of the college national champions that were here that are now kind of rookies on this tour. So it kind of gives them some incentive and some motivation to see where they might be able to go.
Weigh-in Thursday for the final day will be here at Wildwood Park starting at 3 p.m. The winner takes home an $80,000 check.
That's not a bad career. That's not a bad day of work.
Slap a few logos.
That's one of 150 taking at home that $80,000 check. But they actually pay out the top 50 spots even if you make it into 50th place tomorrow. So as long as you made the cut today, you're still going home with $8 grand.
Wow.
So, a few logos on your uniform there, and you'd be right there with them, Riley.
Yeah, Riley, that's a nice little side hustle. What?
It would be amazing to do that one day. But those guys are professionals. I'm an amateur compared to them. But it is incredible to see them bring in those fish today.
Yeah.
And luckily the weather held up for them. It was nice weather out there today. Heading into the final day tomorrow, they may accumulations.
Spots in the state semifinals still up for grabs. Dan breaks down tonight's full slate of Elite 8 games all around the Peach State. Next in sports.
God bless you.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a busy week for high school basketball teams around the CSRA, and the chaos continued tonight with the GHSA Boys Elite 8. Let's start in Class 3A with the two-time defending state champion Cross Creek Razorbacks taking on Hart County right here in Augusta. And as you can see, the Cross Creek girls team is getting involved in the action. Let's get straight to the fourth quarter. Cross Creek is up by 9. Taj Johnson's leading the break for the Bulldogs, and that layup makes it a 7-point game with 2 to go. Moments later, Antoine Lorick sets up Jaden Priester with a nice bounce pass, and the sophomore says, "Get out of my way, I have a ball to dunk." Now the Razorbacks are back up by 9. Here's a courtside view of Antoine Lorick running out the clock and then making that between the legs slam look way too easy. Cross Creek's quest for a three-peat continues by knocking off Hart County 72-65.
I mean, it's an amazing feeling. My guys played extremely hard. Hart County got a great team. but we toughed it out and we was able to come away with a win. They put it in every day. I'm so proud of them, and I can't wait for Friday.
We clicking together. Like we ain't been clicking all season. We clicking right now. That's perfect time.
It's especially because they said we will never do it again. The last 2 years, and we proved wrong, so we just made it for us to go back.
Cross Creek is moving on to the Class 3A State Final Four, where they will face Sandy Creek at 8 o'clock on Friday at Fort Valley State University. Over on the other side of town, the defending Class 2A state champion Westside Patriots were on their home floor going head-to-head with South Atlanta. Let's get to the first quarter. Now, we got some breaking news here. Westside's defense is really, really good. They forced this turnover, setting up the stage for Mr. Ewing to put the Pats up by 12. Second quarter, DeMarco Middleton's jumper is off the mark, but never fear, Kaylon Hudson is here. After that putback, Westside is up by 15. Later on in the quarter, Dontrell Jackson gets the step on his defender and then takes it to the rack for 2 more. Westside's dreams of repeating is still very much alive after running away with this one, 81-50. Now here's a look at the rest of our local teams and how they fared on the hardwood tonight. The playoff run for the defending Class 6A state champion Grovetown Warriors came to an end in the Elite 8 on the road at Lanier, 62-58. In Class 1A, the Swainsboro Tigers are moving on to the state Final Four after taking down Athens Christian 79-55. Hancock Central suffered a tough loss to Charlton County to end their season. Then Thomas Jefferson Academy lost in the GIAA state semifinals to Fullington Academy 44-42. Tomorrow, across the river in South Carolina, the North Augusta girls basketball team will be playing for their 6th state championship game in the last 7 years. This unprecedented run of success could continue with the Lady Jackets winning their 5th state championship since 2017. The Class 4A state title game between North Augusta and Westwood will take place tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and I'll have live coverage from USC Aiken throughout the night. That's it for sports. Riley, between basketball and fishing, we've had a busy day of sports.
Absolutely. Some big games going on and some big tournaments